Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including why it could be the right time to buy a Tesla, new Tesla software features, new Model 3 upgrade details, and more. So let's get into it, and a special thanks to Keeps for sponsoring a portion of this video. First up today, Tesla has just rolled out some new features in a recent software update that bring improved functionality to this car. One of the most useful new features is the ability to set a one-time charge limit when you plug in your vehicle. If you're about to take a road trip, then you're likely going to want to charge your car to a level higher than your day-to-day limit. Now you can choose to set it to a higher level for one charge, and it will automatically revert back to the previous limit the next time you plug in. The option will appear on screen when you raise your charge level above your previous settings. This is great to see because there have been multiple times where I've charged up for 100% on a road trip, then I get where I'm needing to go or get back home, plug in, and realize it's still set to 100%, and the next morning I'm charged up all the way, more than I need. Next, Tesla is continuing the rollout of their adaptive headlight feature in Europe. Previously, it was only available on the new Model 3, but now they've brought it to eligible Model S, X3, and Y vehicles that feature their LED matrix headlights. The feature works by adaptively dimming individual pixels within the headlight in order to reduce glare for oncoming cars and cyclists on the road. This allows you to keep your high beams on more often while driving at night, allowing for better visibility while not blinding other drivers. Tesla's head of engineering, Lars Moravy, tweeted that they are actively working on rolling out this feature to other regions as they get the appropriate certifications, so hopefully we'll see it appear in North America and more very soon. That may require more than just certification in the United States, though, that thus far has not allowed these headlights. In addition, this update includes some further security fixes and improvements. We're not sure exactly what those are, but it's always good to know that Tesla is working to improve the security of their vehicles. Tesla's software-focused approach for their cars allows them to constantly roll out great new features and improvements that many other vehicles just can't compete with. This was a small update, but it brings some convenient new features to these cars that are great to see. Next up today, Chinese automaker BYD is perhaps Tesla's biggest upcoming competitor, and they're making some pretty big moves to stay on top. While BYD is expanding across the globe, they're working hard to capture the market in their home country. In many markets, they offer some of the most affordable EV options, but these new price cuts in China put them at a huge advantage. Their new Yuan Plus crossover SUV is now on sale in China for 119,800 won, or an equivalent of $16,644. That's an insane price for a fully featured EV that is going to make big waves there. As of now, that vehicle is available in other markets, but nowhere else is it offering that great of a deal. For comparison, that same car is for sale in Australia, starting at $31,336, an 85% price increase. In France, it goes for about $50,650, with VAT prices built in. BYD is one of the largest automakers in China, and they're starting to make waves across the world. For example, Ford's CEO Jim Farley recently said that mandates are one thing forcing companies like Ford into EVs, but, quote, there's a bigger thing. There's a bigger thing here than the government. It's called China. It's called the BYD Seagull. It's called a market that likely will sell 110 million EVs this year in China. The Seagull, with recent price cuts, can be obtained for around 69,800 won, or $9,700. Part of BYD's dominance comes with their ability to make cheap EVs, but another piece comes with their PHEVs. Their 5th generation hybrid platform could soon deliver a vehicle with a range over 1,200 miles. Of course, this isn't purely electric range, and that would likely be quite a bit less when comparing to an EPA cycle, but this is part of their strategy. They're capturing customers who are hesitant to go electric by getting them to go halfway and still getting their sale. That does raise questions as to how profitable BYD is on their dedicated BEVs without their hybrid business helping, but that doesn't really matter as long as they can keep making them at scale and taking out competitors. On the EV side as well, they aren't stopping with cheaper EVs. We talked about the Yuan Plus, but the E2 could come in around $12,485. This is a low-range entry-level EV, but a price that is unheard of. On Tesla's side, this creates real competition, especially in China. They currently only have the Model 3 and Y selling in large quantities, and the lowest price there can't compete with these lower-priced offerings. For the future, they plan to make their next-generation vehicle for as low as $25,000, but that is still taking quite some time. It will first come to the US, and Tesla has an advantage there since BYD is unable to sell here for a number of reasons. But over in China, we could see Tesla consistently needing to compete. BYD has a pretty vast and growing lineup, and the main thing Tesla can do for now is drop prices. Depending on what market you are buying in, it could be a good time to wait to buy if you're patient. BYD is planning big things over in Europe as well, which will absolutely create some extra competition for Tesla. This competition trickles down to other markets for Tesla, forcing them to make a better product, and it forces them to bring prices down. Over in China, we could see another round of price cuts in the near future, especially as the Model Y Juniper's launch looms. On the other side of things, in the US, Tesla has a number of incentives that could make this a great time for you to buy. For the new Model 3, there isn't much going on, but for customers looking to get a Model Y, S, or X, there's a lot happening right now. If you have FSD on a current Tesla, you can transfer that capability over to your new car free of charge from now until the end of March. If you have unlimited supercharging on a Tesla, you can transfer that perk over to your new car free of charge from now until the end of March. On top of that, if you buy one of these cars before the end of March, you will receive 5,000 free supercharger miles and an additional 5,000 for trading in a vehicle. Those stack on top of federal and state tax credits. Then, in order to incentivize customers to buy vehicles already made that are in inventory, Tesla is offering existing customers the option to upgrade paint or interior color for free. So if you currently own a Tesla and want to upgrade to a new Model S, Y, or X, you'll get up to 10,000 free supercharger miles, any paint or interior color available in inventory, whatever discount may be available in inventory, and the ability to transfer FSD. They really are pulling out all the stops to get current owners to upgrade. Cybertrucks and Model 3s are excluded, along with leases and used purchases. We're still a couple weeks out from the end of the quarter, so Tesla could sweeten this deal even further, maybe with a price drop, but it's really interesting to see them test the waters here. When looking at inventory vehicles, demo vehicles are as much as $5,000 off, and others are $1,000 to $2,000 off, so for those itching to upgrade, it could be the perfect time for you. Certain cars fully qualify for the tax credit, and while that should be still in place next year with the Juniper upgrade to the Model Y, rules do get stricter each year, so we'll have to see. It's always tough to perfectly time a Tesla purchase, but Tesla is definitely incentivizing customers in a number of ways as we approach the end of Q1. Coming up as well, they could be forced to drop prices overseas as a result of BYD. Next up today, Keeps is an online subscription service that makes it easy and more affordable for men to treat their male pattern baldness from the comfort of their home. For me, I had to eventually embrace the fact that my hair was gone, but you don't have to. This is the product I wish I had known about when I first noticed signs of hair loss. Keeps offers treatments that are clinically proven to work, including both of the FDA-approved hair loss treatment options. They also offer a super easy-to-use 2-in-1 gel that combines both. Their treatments are 90% effective at treating hair loss and can increase hair growth by up to 35% according to clinical studies. In addition to clinically approved treatments, Keeps offers hair-thickening shampoo, conditioner, and styling pomade. Nearly 1 million men have saved their hair with Keeps, and over 4,500 have rated it 5 stars. Most customers notice results within 6 months of starting treatment. Whether you're looking to prevent hair loss, stimulate hair growth, or just take better care of what you have, Keeps has a trusted line of products to help you along the way. Hair loss stops with Keeps. For a special offer to get started, go to keeps.com/RyanShaw or click the link in the description below. You don't have to end up like me. Next up today, Tesla's chief designer Franz von Holzhausen and their chief of engineering Lars Moravy just did a live-streamed Q&A session where they broke down some of the new design features of the new Model 3. This video is full of a lot of interesting information about this car, but a lot of it is a recap of details that we already know. There are a few new pieces of information, though, that show just how thorough and comprehensive the redesign of this car was. A lot of thought and care was put into the exterior design, not just for aesthetics, but greatly improved aerodynamics. The hood and body designs help to push air over the car with minimal disruption, and even the wheels have seen a redesign to reduce drag. The overall wheel shape has changed to reduce the amount of air getting caught up in the spokes and tires, instead directing it over and past the wheels. The edge of the wheel features an improved design that lets it integrate better into the tire profile for better aerodynamics. As an added benefit, this flattened wheel edge also should help to prevent curb rash, a problem that Teslas have had for a while now. The tires themselves have also been specifically designed for increased efficiency. These new tires feature improved rolling resistance while not sacrificing performance. The new Model 3 has a slightly slower top speed than its predecessor, and that speed sacrifice came to greatly improve tire efficiency. Slightly narrowing the vehicle's speed range allowed them to design a new tire that performed even better than before. Their internal data collection found that people weren't utilizing these top speeds, so sacrificing that for increased performance made the most sense for them. They also did a lot of work on improving the safety and rigidity for this vehicle. A lot of internal structure was added to the car that helps the car feel more solid and responsive to driver commands while also improving passenger safety. Seals and baffles have been improved throughout to reduce road noise, leading to Tesla's quietest vehicle yet. I have definitely noticed a lot of those last few things when driving this car the past few weeks. Those elements add a lot to this car's premium feel, but one of the coolest new features is the addition of ventilated seats. Ventilated seats are a great addition to this car's interior comfort, but they've also given us some new insight into their design. They say that most ventilated seats manage to just about maintain your body temperature, but these internally designed seats are even better. Their enhanced structure offers superior airflow that can actually wick heat away from your body, cooling you very efficiently. The new Model 3 has a ton of great improvements over its predecessor, but these are just some of the things that we're only now learning about. It wouldn't surprise me if there are even more things going on under the hood that further make this one of Tesla's best vehicles so far. Next up today, while the Apple Car has been officially canceled, we are learning more now about this defunct project than we did in the decade or so since it was originally leaked. Mark Gurman at Bloomberg has just posted a major piece detailing the history and development of this vehicle leading up to its cancellation. Back in 2014, the automotive market was primed for disruption, and Apple was gearing up to join with a software-focused electric vehicle. Apple had a great opportunity to introduce a car that combined innovative electronics, software, and features at the time when few automakers were doing that. Despite the head start that they had, indecision and challenges mired the project from the beginning, and they lost their opportunity to keep that head start. There have been a lot of guesses as to what an Apple Car might have looked like, but this report has given us some first major insights. Self-driving was always intended to be a key feature in this Apple Car, but throughout its development history, there was a lot of back and forth over what extent it would be implemented. As such, the changing features of this car had a big impact on its design. A prototype dating back to 2020 is reported to have resembled the Canoo lifestyle van, a van with rounded edges that featured a ton of Apple-like features. It had automatically tinting windows, an all-glass sunroof, and a pure white exterior with white wall tires. The car had a symmetrical front and back design, so it would appear to be driving forward from any direction. It had a living room-style interior with large screens spread throughout the vehicle to handle controls and entertainment. It was fully designed with level 5 self-driving technology in mind, and that manifested itself throughout the design, where there wasn't really a place for a driver to even sit specifically. At numerous points throughout the project, Apple had considered a lot of purchases and third-party agreements that would have greatly impacted the EV market as we know it. At one point, Apple had even considered buying Tesla when the company was worth only $30 billion. Some early meetings had been held with Elon Musk, but Tim Cook ultimately canceled the deal early in negotiations. At numerous points, Apple had met with representatives from Mercedes, BMW, Ford, VW, McLaren, and others to potentially collaborate on producing the car together. Mercedes had even considered manufacturing both the Apple Car and integrating Apple's self-driving tech into their own fleet of vehicles. Ultimately, the deal fell through as Apple gained confidence that they could handle the design and production themselves. There were a lot of designs throughout the process, and we've really only been given an insight into just a few. Some early prototypes were very reminiscent of the classic VW microbus and the 2017 ID Buzz prototype. Some Apple Car engineers had previously left the company for VW in the early 2010s, so the VW Buzz may owe part of its existence to the Apple Car. The car's last major design kept with what was referred to internally as a bread loaf design, but added gull-wing doors like those in the Model X. Its original design wasn't made with a driver in mind at all, without even much room for front and rear windshields. When Apple decided to make the internal switch from level 5 to level 2 self-driving, they had to reconfigure the car to make room for a steering wheel and expanded windshield. It's a bit of a shame that Apple couldn't bring this car to fruition, but the market has changed a lot since they first set their sights on making a car. Electric cars have become much more commonplace, and companies like Tesla have used the idea of a software-focused EV and taken it to new heights. Instead, Apple is focusing their efforts on products that align more closely with the rest of their lineup, and the rest of the EV industry can learn from what Apple tried here. At the same time, Apple is doing CarPlay, so they are still managing to get their software into a lot of vehicles, and they're doing that even further in the future with CarPlay being integrated much more than just the single screen. Last up today, some updates from other automakers. We were all expecting a big unveil from Rivian at their R2 Unveil event, but I don't think anybody was quite expecting a whole other vehicle. Alongside the R2 SUV, Rivian has just unveiled their R3 crossover SUV. First, the R2. This midsize SUV is due for release in 2026 and already is shaping up to be a compelling product. Rivian has integrated a lot of customer feedback into the design of this vehicle, delivering a vehicle that should be able to travel over 300 miles in most configurations at a starting price of $45,000. Reservations opened immediately after the event, and they got over 68,000 reservations within the first 24 hours of availability. The R2 has very similar dimensions to the Model Y, minus the slope roofs, which gives it a lot of added interior room. In addition to the R2, Rivian also showed off its sibling, the R3 crossover. The R3 is built on the same R2 platform, but in a smaller and more affordable package. They will also deliver a performance variant called the R3X, which should offer some great performance in this smaller package. We're still waiting on final prices for these cars, but they are designed to come in at even lower prices than the R2. Some videos popped up online after the event showing these new models on the road, and they both look great out in the wild. If Rivian can keep up their legacy of quality in these vehicles, then these will prove to be a huge competitor to Tesla. Rivian's other vehicles are currently eligible for the partial $3,750 tax credit, which we can assume will also be the case for these, but it seems they are aiming this to be fully eligible for the full $7,500. I can't wait to learn more about these vehicles as information arrives, and to see what other cool new features will be arriving on them. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's all about if Rivian can scale this and make this profitably. While Rivian and Tesla are both gearing up to produce more mass-market EVs, Kia is making big moves that could bring their affordable models to market first. Last October, Kia showed off two affordable concepts at their first annual EV day, the EV3 and EV4. The EV3 is going to be their cheapest electric model, with prices expected to start around $30,000. This compact crossover SUV is likely to launch later this year or perhaps early into 2025. If they can stick to that time frame, then they could be beating Tesla and Rivian to the punch pretty considerably. The EV4 is Kia's entry-level electric sedan, which should come in around $35,000 when it launches early next year. Price is still one of the biggest hurdles for a lot of drivers looking into buying an electric vehicle. As more companies start to introduce vehicles under the $40,000 mark, then we will surely see even faster EV adoption. I can't wait to find out more about these vehicles as we get closer to their launch. The Honda Prologue EV has just been revealed to be fully eligible for the $7,500 federal tax credit, which puts it at a very competitive price. The base trim for this vehicle starts at $39,900 after tax credits for a vehicle that can reach up to 296 miles of an EPA range on a charge. The Prologue is based on GM's Ultium platform, but features a lot of special adjustments and tuning that makes it a sporty and engaging drive. Its standard features include Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a wireless phone charger, 19-inch aluminum wheels, dual-zone climate controls, built-in Google, and 150 kilowatt DC fast charging. This car also will feature a few different charging incentives depending on your living and charging situation. The first package includes a level 2 home charger, $500 installation credit, and a $100 EVgo charging credit. The second package includes a portable level 1 and level 2 charger, a $250 installation credit, and a $300 EVgo credit. The last option for those that can't charge at home is a $750 EVgo charging credit. All of these packages include a 60 kilowatt intro charge at Electrify America stations. The Prologue will be arriving imminently at Honda dealerships across the US, and it could prove to be a competitor to watch. Honda was very late to the EV game, but their reputation and price point could make this a compelling EV option for many that already trust the brand. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see how Tesla is going after Cybertruck flippers, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.